Okay, hi everyone. My name is Keith. I'm your professor for Federal Income Tax 2. Some of you have already had before. Hey, it's great to see your name, see your face again. Welcome to the class. And if I hadn't had you before in the past, welcome as well. It's nice to meet you. Everyone is welcome here. Hoping to give you guys a great product and experience this semester in Tax 2. So this is going to be a quick video, right? We're just going over the syllabus. Most of you guys are seniors, you're about to graduate. This isn't like your first rodeo taking courses, so you kind of know the name of the game. So here we're Federal Income Tax 2. We're really going to be looking at business taxation. So we're going to be looking at like partnerships, corporations, and then on the back end a little bit of different topics, but generally we're going to be looking at the tax consequences from kind of cradle to grave, from forming a business to operating a business to shutting a business down. What are all of the tax consequences that would happen in there? Okay, so how it's going to work is, right, we have the textbook. It's the 2022 edition. The lowest cost option is going to be just to buy the Connect software directly from the publisher. Connect, if you're not familiar with that, that's the homework platform we use in this class. I've put the link in Canvas for that for you to find it. So this class, right, it's out of 1,000 points. Wherever you land, at the end of the day, you land. So it's, you get 920 points, that's a 92. You get 845, that's an 84.5. It's as simple as that. So the class is out of 1,000 points. The breakout of that is basically going to be homework, a skills assignment that's kind of meant to force you to think about something creative to do regarding business taxation, a CPA interview assignment, and then the exams, right? So you can see the grade scale here. Again, to figure out your final grade in this class, just take your total points divided by 1,000. Okay, so how it's going to work, right? Essentially, we're going to do 4 weeks, then an exam. 4 weeks or 3 weeks, then an exam. 4 weeks, documentary, then an exam. In between, right, we're going to layer in those other items. Right, so that's show me your skills assignment. We're going to have a proposal deadline, a draft deadline, and then the final deadline. The CPA interview assignment, that's due at the very end of the semester. Okay, and then the exams themselves, right? So like this exam is just going to be on those chapters. This exam is just going to be on those chapters. This guy right here is just on that material. In other words, it's not cumulative. The final exam is not going to be on like all 10 or 12 chapters. So a few things here, right? Homework, we're doing that through Connect. So to access the homework each week, you're going to have to go to the Connect website. You would just click the link in Brightspace. It would take you there and you do the homework. No homework the week of an exam or this week or during spring break or week 12, right? So certain weeks. And I'll send an announcement each week that basically tells you what you need to do. A few things about the homework. It's based on accuracy. It's not simply a completion grade. So, whatever you earn on the homework is what you get. You get unlimited attempts, right? So, whatever your highest attempt is, so if you get, 10 points, 8 points, and 6 points, you do 3 different times, the 10 points is what would transfer, right? Your highest grade. A few things with it, make sure that you affirmatively submit the homework, right? I've gotten a lot in the past, like the basically electronic version of the dog ate my homework. People were like, well, I saved it, but I forgot to submit it. Could you still count it? I don't do that. I don't accept late homework. So please just make sure that you affirmatively submit it in the system. I don't accept late homework, so please don't email me asking for an extension. To kind of make up for all of this, right? How does it, because I know you guys have a life and things come up. How do I balance this and make this reasonable? Well, hey, there's 11 homeworks in your 10 best count, right? So what that means is if you have an issue or something, you can't do the homework, or it's just not working out that day, use that homework as your drop, right? So I kind of build in, I give you some leeway for that. All right, let's talk a little bit about this show me your skills assignment, because you're probably wondering what this means, right? So the idea here, as I have, is in practice, everybody brings something different to the table. So for example, in tax, maybe you're good at like tax compliance, doing the forms, consulting, maybe you're a researcher, you're good at networking, you're a good speaker, maybe you're like more of a tech person, you do like the modeling or the programming. Everybody, there's different skill sets that make you good in practice. And this assignment is meant to make you think about, hey, what am I good at? What do I bring to the table? And essentially what you need to do here is identify a business skill. It could be one of the above, or one that you independently think of that can be utilized in a tax capacity that is relevant to the material we cover. In other words, I'm having you do a project here. It's giving you some creative leeway to figure out how can I take my skills and apply it to what we're learning in class. And the project at the end, right, it can be like an Excel document. Maybe you're going to build out a model. So for example, I've had people do like a big depreciation model before. Maybe it's a PowerPoint, right? It's some type of presentation or analysis, like you've done a market analysis of the different CPA firms in the area. You could do something like a Word document, right? Like I've had people before put together like survival guides for the first year in public accounting. You could do like a video format. It would have to obviously be like edited and things like that. The name of the game is I'm looking for like at minimum 15 hours you put into this. So you're going to have to put in some brainstorming, some effort, and think about these things. So there's 3 dates here, right? The first date is the proposal deadline. I'll put a little drop box there. All you need to do is submit a Word document outlining what your project is. A paragraph works fine, right? I don't need that, big of a commitment there. With the topics, however, they are on a first come, first serve basis. So where I'm going with this is if you want to email me your topic ahead of time, then I can let you know that that's good and it's still available. And once you email it to me, so say that you are really like, I want to do, my skill set is Excel and I want to do depreciation. I'll say, you can email me, I'll say, hey, that's great. And then I will put somewhere in Blackboard or Brightspace a running list of the different projects people are doing. That way, it'll kind of be public knowledge who's doing what, and the skills won't be duplicated, right? So proposal deadline, you'll have to put what your skill is in the Dropbox. You can reach out to me beforehand to secure that skill and make sure it's available. Once you do, I'll publicly make it available, who's doing what. Halfway through the semester, right, I'm going to want to see a draft, right? Some type of reasonable work product that shows me that you've done at least 5 hours in this thing. That gives me a chance to give you some feedback and direction, like, hey, I think you did this good, but you need to improve in this area. Or maybe, hey, you need to realign the focus for this project to look at these other items. Finally, April 16th, right, that's when the item needs to be submitted. Now, one of the things here, if you're you've never done a tax internship or you've never done any accounting, that's fine, right? You don't need to have been in practice in any capacity whatsoever to have a skill and think about how you could use that as an accountant and being a tax accountant. That's fine. So for those individuals who are like, I really have no idea what I want to do there, you have the option of doing a research paper. And the idea with that is, again, it's going to have to be a big guy research paper because I'm looking for at least 15 hours of work at minimum. Okay, so I'm going to look at this pretty thoroughly, what everybody does. If you were to do whatever your project is, I'm going to look at it for a reasonableness standard. The very first thing I do is I pull it open and I say, does this look like a work product that somebody put 15, 20 hours of work into? All right, CPA interview assignment. The directions for that will be in Brightspace and a Dropbox. This will be difficult in the sense that it's busy season in the spring, right? So you really kind of de facto have 2 windows to get this done. Immediately, like right now before February 1st, because once kind of January hits, it's going to be tough. Or once February hits, it'll be tough. Or like after April 15th. It's kind of the de facto reality of it. So you have to find somebody who's a tax accountant who's working kind of in business tax and interview them. If you're doing an internship this semester, it might be really easy for you. Like even if you're in the audit department, right? You can just flip over and ask a tax person. But in the sake of full disclosure, this is a difficult assignment to do in the spring. Not because like finding someone is hard. There's plenty of CPAs out there. It's going to be finding a time to sit down with them because they're really busy. So the best way you can do this, right, is just blame it on me, right? Say, I have this crazy instructor. He's making me interview a CPA. I know it's busy season. And me as the professor, I know it's busy season too. Trust me, I've weighed the cost benefit of this. But I think meeting with practitioners is extremely important. So blame it on me and just say, hey, do you have 10 minutes where I could chat with you and just ask you a few questions? If you frame it like that, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they'll be more than happy to sit down with you. You can do it in person. You can do it remotely. You can do it over the phone. I don't have a list of names of CPAs. So if you're stuck on this, ask your friends and family. Go through LinkedIn. Use the AI CPA. You can use the New York State CPA Society, or you can go to the Career Services Office, like the Pam O'Keefe's office, the Center for Student Success, and ask them if they know somebody. Part of this assignment is meant to make you network. If you've had me for Tax 1, you've done this before for another individual. This one is meant to continue that. The dialogue, the interaction with professionals is really important to me. Just because this is an online class, I'm not going to change my standards, right? To me, it's like really important you hear about what we learn in class, not only from me, but from other people. The more you hear this and from the different variety of people you hear it from, the better off you'll be. All right, so the exams, right? Those are going to be in Brightspace. Please be aware that the exams will be monitored through Brightspace. By enrolling in this class, you agree that your computer will be monitored. Please don't try to cheat. It will send me a red flag if you try to pull open a website or do something like fishy. Brightspace is pretty smart, so please don't try to cheat in any way. I would really hate to see somebody who's going to potentially graduate this semester cheat on an exam, get caught, and then not be able to graduate. That has happened before in the past. I definitely don't like when it happens, but I will enforce cheating. So Brightspace is a pretty smart system, so please don't play around with the exams. When you take them, they're closed book, they're closed notes, unless I state otherwise. And with that, like I said, there'll be a timer. The questions are going to appear one at a time. There's no backtracking. Once you answer a question, you move forward. Once you go in to the exam, right? Once you click start, the timer starts and it doesn't stop. So if you exit the exam or something like that, the idea with that is it will continue to run. All right, so the exams are curved. It's based on whoever does the best in the class. You'll likely see, I have to learn a little bit of the mechanics of Brightspace, but I will explain to everybody what the curve was for each exam. Now, where I'm going with this is you're not going to see your exam score immediately right after you take it. Why? Because I haven't implemented the curve yet. I don't know the curve until everyone's done. So you will see the day after the exam your score in Brightspace. Now, this is just saying that, hey, like I said, you're being monitored. You agree to that. Please don't cheat. The one thing with this, right, I do want to call your attention to is this guy right here. So the exam, when we have it during that week, you have a 12-hour window on these days to take the exam. In other words, what I don't do is just like open up the exam for a full week. That, like I said, I have to have some like internal controls over cheating and collusion and people sharing answers, and I have to monitor this reasonably. So even though this is an asynchronous course, you agree to be available to take the exam on these days within that window, right? So it gives you a 12-hour window from like lunchtime until midnight, 85 minutes. I'm telling you ahead of time right here, those 3 dates. And again, you'll have 85 minutes. Once you start the exam, the timer doesn't stop. I don't give makeup exams. So again, if you miss an exam, that's, you're going to get a 0. All right, final grade policy. This just says, hey, the class is out of 1,000 points. Because I drop the homework and this and that, and there's curves. Don't look at your percentage in Brightspace. That could temporarily be inaccurate. At the end of the day, when I put in the grades for this class, I look and I see how many points did the person earn, right? If they earn 900 points or 92.3, 923, that's a 92.3. I keep it as simple as that. These are basically, the learning outcomes. You can read those on your own accord. It's basically, like I said, we're talking about business tax. The other policies here, you can read through those at your own time. Whatever the university sets, I'm going to agree with them and have those policies in there. The final part here, it just basically says, hey, we've done this video about the syllabus today. The syllabus is in there. It's been posted for you to look at. By remaining in this course, you agree to the terms and conditions of the syllabus. So you say that, hey, I understand that I need to be available on those days for the exam in those windows. I know that he doesn't give makeup exams or the exams outside of those windows. So if I sign up for this class, if I stay in it, I am saying I'm available during that time and I agree to take it. I know that, there's the CPA interview assignment. I'm going to have to network with a professional. I get there's homework every week. It's due Sunday at midnight. I need to make sure I affirmatively submit it. Like I said, you guys are adults, so this isn't your first rodeo. I don't need to baby you like I would with maybe like an intro class. But one thing, wrapping up here is I know for a lot of you guys, this is your last course you need to graduate. And I always kind of have frustration teaching this class in that capacity, in the sense that I want to see everybody graduate. And I think, and I'm not as familiar with the Brockport policies, that you need a C in this class at least to graduate. Maybe it's I think it's a full C. I don't think a C minus counts. Talk to your advisor about what the exact grade you need is. Because where I'm going with this is a difficult class. The exams, the class average on the exams after the curves tends to be in the high C's. It could be different for this class, right? I don't have some predefined notion in my head. I'm not here twisting my mustache, like Dr. Evil or something, right? It's just the nature of the material, right? It's just tough stuff. So where I'm going with this is you need to make sure in this class that you at least get a 73. I believe that's what you need to graduate, right? So the exams are tough at 60%, but if you're not good at exams, then you need to take advantage of all these other things. The CPA interview assignment, show me your skills, the homework. None of this is all about effort, right? It's between you and you. The homework is there. You can do it in limited times. I'm happy to help. If you want to meet with me, send an invite. CPA interview assignment. Find a CPA. Show me your skills. These are really meant to help your grade, right? So take advantage of all of those. The exams, right? Do your best, right? Wherever you land, you land. Plenty of people who have taken this class before have passed and graduated. Plenty have gotten A's, plenty have gotten B's, plenty have gotten C's. I don't have a predefined curve in my head, but I just want to try to give you a realistic expectation and not mislead you that this course is going to be easy, because it's difficult material. Now, the last thing I do want to say is, in the homework, right? If you're stuck on the homework, I put in Connect optional problems and optional multiple choice problems. And they're optional, right? They're voluntary. You don't have to do them. However, right? If you're stuck on the homework in Connect, before you go to chegg.com, right? I'm aware of the realities of chegg.com. You would be better off looking at the optional problems, finding the solution to it. It will give you a detailed solution, and it's basically the same exact problem with other numbers. The optional problems are basically meant to be kind of like a Rosetta Stone for you. Go there, look at the solution if you get stuck, and then transcribe it over. Of course, give it your best effort up front, right? Try to solve it, but it's likely in this class that at some point you might get stuck or kind of hit a road bump. It's totally natural, totally normal, and fine. It's not a big deal. We can work through things together. I'm happy to, help you. But that's why I put those optional problems there. They're really kind of meant to give you that, if I'm stuck, what are my resources to help me? Likewise, if you're studying for the exams, right, I have optional multiple choice questions there. You can go through all of those, right? If you want to see how this is done in multiple choice format, that would be a good thing to do. So with all of that, if you need anything, like I said, just shoot me an email. We can meet. Essentially how it works is each week I'm going to upload videos for you to watch. So there'll be like next week videos on chapter 15. You'll have to do the homework that week. The next week for 19, you'll have to do the homework, show me your skills. By and large, it's an asynchronous class. Do it on your own time. Each week I'll open up the new chapter, one material at a time. If you need me, send an email. One thing I will say is my final note, please be reasonable with regard to your expectations for responses to email. I would say maybe 24 hours is reasonable, right? Not 24 seconds. Usually I have my phone on me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can practically. But on the weekends, right, I live a boring life. I'm an accountant. So I watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, then I go to bed. If you email me at 9 o'clock or something on Sunday night, I am in bed. I can't help you with the homework. So I get if you get jammed up on that, you want to send me an email, that's fine. But to be honest, if it's on Sunday, anything past 4 or 5 o'clock, I probably will not get back to you because I'm living my life, right? It's the weekend, it's Sunday. I'm technically off contract. But I will get back to you within 24 hours, right? So I just say that to try to be realistic with expectations. Sometimes people think that we're just sitting around waiting for you, providing all our time and effort. I'm happy to work with you. I want to give you a great product. I want to be available to you. But I also want to have my own life as a person and be realistic with it. So with all of that said, right, I think this is going to be a great experience. I want to have fun this semester as much as we can make this stuff fun. I hope you find this class insightful and beneficial to your career. I hope you're interested in doing the CPA. I hope you're interested, you want to do the MAC program, whether that's at Brockport and somewhere else. And then finally, in the summer, I teach in Paris. So if you're still listening to this, first off, kudos to you for getting this far in the lecture. I would bet you 3/4 of the class hasn't got to this ending point of the video. But if you're still listening, hey, you're the awesome listener. I'm teaching in France this summer, a graduate class for the graduate program. So if you're looking for a 3-week trip there in kind of July and want to come, hey, let's work together to figure that out. I'll be sending an announcement for it. But just think about it. So in any event, I'll let you guys go, and we will see you next week for the first class online. If you need anything, shoot me an email. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to a great semester.